Rumor has it that when Zareth hires bodyguards, the bodyguards feel safer. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We've got another Crash Course video today, this time talking about Troopers versus Lord Vader. Now, I should warn you, it's a little bit expensive in terms of, you're going to need to use characters from other teams, though I think it's probably worth the price of taking out Lord Vader. I will also warn you that there are a couple builds of Lord Vader that you are just not going to beat. If you're counting on this team as your only Lord Vader comp, it probably is okay, depending on who your opponents are and where you're placed, but it's not always going to work. However, it's a pretty powerful tool to have in your arsenal if you have the need to take out one of the best galactic legends out there. So let's real quick thank my patrons and say thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for your support. I could not do this without you. I am setting up the new computer as we speak, and you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for everything. Truly appreciate you guys. And folks, if you want to support this channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that like button, subscribe, comment. If you like videos like this, please let me know via the like button. The more that we blow this kind of video up, the more I'm going to be encouraged to wanting to make it. And, so link it in your guild chats, link it all over the place. Have your girlfriend watch it. It's the whole thing. So, help me mount the algorithm, guys. The Imperial Troopers mount the algorithm methodically or ritualistically. Gosh, they do all kinds of weird things before they shoot Lord Vader in the face. Is it tradition? I don't even know. I can't think of the right word. So let's just move on. So, I guess a word about Troopers, guys. They work really well with turn meter train. You're going to be gaining a lot of turn meter. I have to show you the math of how it works. It's not too hard once you get the idea, but it is going to be a little bit something that you just need to be looking at and trying to internalize. I'm going to be showing you examples of how we do it, but first I'll show you all the modding, all of the setup, and everything. So we've got General Veers. You can see on the top left, it says R5. That's the level of my characters that I'm going to be showing you. This is all on my alternate account, actually, because in Kyber 2, almost no one knows how to defend against this. In Kyber 1, it gets more and more tricky to pull this off against people, though you can still do it in Kyber 1. I've seen consistently a few different Lord Vader teams that you can take down, and I'll show you at the end of this what teams to look out for. So, Relic 5 on General Veers. Obviously, you want to be able to run Datacrons. Relic 5 on all of them if you can. He needs to be the slowest, guys. He is really easy on modding. You don't have to put a speed arrow on even. You don't need 6E. In fact, you can just have him at stock speed almost. He gains so much turn meter that it's going to work. Now, you may be wondering how this team beats Lord Vader teams, because Lord Vader is going to be faster and he's going to put damage over times or dots on your team, which therefore stop you from being able to gain bonus turn meter, which is the lifeblood of this team. Just assume that we're going to be able to get rid of those dots and be able to, gain all the turn meter we need, all right? So we have Relic 5 on him, and then the speed, I'm showing you stats. Don't try to mirror these stats, honestly, guys. I don't care. He doesn't need stats. He's there as a mechanics bot. He does two important things, guys. Leadership, you can see I underlined it. Whenever an Imperial Trooper gains a buff, they gain 10% turn meter, which is the entire reason we're doing this, guys. Really, really important stuff here. And then if you take someone out, if you kill them, your entire team of troopers gets 50% turn meter. And then they also gain offense up, which offense up is a buff, so you're actually gaining 60% turn meter, which is pretty nice, as you'll see. You kind of need that. So otherwise, he needs to be the slowest trooper. He can be you can have 0 speed on him if you want. Put some survivability on him, put some damage on. He doesn't do much damage. You could maybe put some potency on for his AoE, because it has a 50% chance to put ability block, which is, I guess that's okay. That's probably more worthwhile than most things. But otherwise, yeah, he's just there for mechanics. He's the lead. Admiral Piet is there so he's Relic 8 because of his Executor requirements, but he can be lower than that if you don't want Executor, don't have him yet. The thing about Piet, he facilitates this whole thing. I mean, every character here is very specifically chosen or selected for, what they're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish here. But he doesn't really need any stats other than he needs some speed. He's going to be the second fastest trooper behind Iden Versio. And you'll see, she's not going to be like crazy fast. Well, he do wants to put some decent speed mods on her, frankly. Here's the thing, like I always swap in 5s for my alternate account at least. I swap mods between Piet and Iden a lot of times, but you don't really need any stats for him, like some potency might be nice. He does do a decent amount of damage after you get enough stacks of the Emperor's Trap on them, but the two things that you really want to look out for, guys, is his basic, it calls someone who has inevitable failure, which is a debuff he applies onto someone. He applies inevitable failure onto Dark Trooper, as you'll see, and then after that, whenever he does a basic, he calls Dark Trooper to assist. The other thing that you want to keep in mind, folks, is that he also calls a random Empire ally to assist, which can be Dark Trooper. I didn't mention it before, but with Veers, you kind of want him to, sometimes you want him to actually have some crit chance, so that if you're facing like a team with Malik, he'll crit, and then he will be feared, and when Piet goes, he won't be able to call Veers to assist, because he's feared, because Veers is feared, and Dark Trooper, doesn't. So, well, I guess that's one thing to keep in mind, though. That's not a part of this counter at all. The other piece of it, guys, is the Emperor's Trap. Anytime a trooper basically does anything, once they do anything, they gain a stack of this Emperor's Trap. It means they do more damage, it means they get more potency, and they also gain a buff, which is, of course, 10% turn meter. And so he's giving a lot of turn meter to the team. He's going to be part of the turn meter train that we're going to be using. So the Emperor's Trap and his basic, very important stuff, as well as inevitable failure, the ability, you'll see how to use that. So we have Lazy Trooper here, guys. I call him lazy because he can't even be bothered to walk up and punch someone in the face. He has to use his rocket pack to do that. It's fairly obnoxious. If you know him, you're like, man, that guy's competent, but he is lazy AF. And all he wants, guys, is offense. Lots of offense. He's the third fastest trooper, so it needs to be faster, in this case, than Veers, but slower than Piet. He's going to... so he does a few different things. So he has his special here that gives everyone a buff. It's not too crazy, but so everyone gets 10% turn meter for each stack of Dark Trooper squad he has. Which means he has 4 stacks of it, so everyone gains 40% turn meter. And so there's that, and then you just want a ton of offense. And I mean, in general, I would advise putting some speed on him because, like in 3v3, he's not going to have as many characters helping him with turn meter gains and stuff. Like, he kind of really likes to be fast, but for this specific counter, it doesn't really matter. Keep in mind, this also works for territory wars, guys, depending on which build you're facing. I mean, a lot of the bigger guilds know how to protect against this as well, but something to keep in mind. Oh, I should also point out, guys, if there's anyone on this team that you want to take to Relic 8, well, I guess you want it to be PS, so you can unlock Executor, but beyond that, Dark Trooper is definitely a target for that, because he's going to gain about 1,000 offense after this. This is actually something that I would advise you try to emulate as much damage as you can. Like, try to get more than me. Relic 7, and I don't have the perfect modding on him, just as much offense. You have to have a lot of offense, because he will literally kill their entire team for you if you know what you're doing. Now we have Iden Versio as the 4th and final trooper on the team, and she just wants speed, guys. She's not there for anything other than speed, and then she also has a Dispel that works pretty nicely on the current version of Lord Vader with his Datacron and everything. Keep in mind, this is not a strategy like predicated on Datacrons, though Datacrons are going to interact with it and maybe change the counter here and there, sometimes invalidate it and sometimes make it easier, etc. And so Iden, I mean, she's got a really good ship anyway, so you probably want her Relic 5 or more, so you can get a good datachron. And then you want that speed. Now it says 323 speed. It doesn't sound too fast, but she's just kind of slow. She's not all there. But no, so she's you'd think that she's there for damage, because in a lot of other circumstances, when she runs her own team, she is the main damage dealer. In this case, she's here to cleanse for you. That's why you want her to be fastest. That's why you need her to be faster than Piet, so that when she goes, she can cleanse the entire team. And when she does that, she also gives buffs to her team, and so she gives more turn meter and everything as well. And then otherwise, she's there in some circumstances to dispel things with her first special, but that's not as important. Just lots of speed on her. And this doesn't really work in 3s, but it does work in 5v5. So yeah, finally we have Wat Tambor, and I know that you want him to use him with say, the Eternal Emperor. You want to use him with Supreme Leader Kylo, etc. And I get that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I think that you could probably find an alternative, guys. If you looked hard enough, if you tried hard enough, like I usually can find something to do without Wat Tambor. Like this account only has 3 Galactic Legends, and so I have to kill a ton of Galactic Legends without the use of my own, because you have to put Galactic Legends on defense too sometimes, and so Wat is, I kill him without using a lot of the Galactic Legends. Wat is pretty helpful here, though, guys. So he's a Relic 7 because of requirements, unlock requirements, but otherwise some speed and whatever. Like, he's just gonna go once. And if you get more than 1 turn from him, that's kind of a bonus. It's kind of nice. You don't count on it, though, guys. Just 1. Like, in general, he probably wants a bunch of potency to be able to apply damage over time, but other than that, nothing too crazy. Now, turn order, you're going to want Iden to go first. You want her to be fastest. You're going to have Piet go, the Dark Trooper go, and Veers. You can see the little list of things that you're going to be doing, and I'm going to walk you through it. So this is just kind of a written out version, an explanation of what's going on here. I'll explain as we go. Now, things to look out for, things that are going to just completely stop you in your tracks. Now, Lord Vader is going to be faster than you. If there's a datachron out there that makes you faster than him, which there was recently, then that changes the entire equation, and maybe you can get away with taking out a Canderous team. However, if Lord Vader goes, he's going to then have Maul, it's going to trigger Maul to take a turn. Maul will do his AoE, giving him 5 stacks, and then Canderous, who loves it when people apply a ton of damage over times, he's going to go next, do his AoE, and ruin your entire day. It's not going to work. If you have faster Inquisition, they're going to use a special first and trigger Maul's Frenzy. If your opponent puts Wat on this team, he will also go before you, and you'll be able to, like, Maul will destroy your team. Like, you can't let Maul take more than 1 turn, essentially. Things that are scary, if they have really, really high relic tanks, or tanks that you just don't think you can get through, then maybe don't do it. If they have Piet on the team, it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but every time you hit one of their guys, he gains 5% turn meter. So pretty soon he's going to go, especially because he can be really fast, and with Lord Vader, he's going to already be plus 40 speed, and so just keep that in mind. A lot of people aren't in GAC or Territory Wars. They're not going to be putting Piet with Lord Vader, but if they do, you kind of gotta account for that. It's not a necessary. I've beat teams with Piet. It just makes it a lot harder. And then just keep in mind, Thrawn and Gideon, they can both be pretty quick. Gideon especially can be like 380 something speed, and then he gets another 40 speed from Lord Vader. Like anyone who's super fast and is going to use a special on their first move, which is basically everyone, that's what, like, you don't want Maul to take a second turn, guys. Lord Vader's going to give him that first turn regardless, no matter what, here, unless a Datacron intervenes, like I said. But beyond that, you can't let that next character go. So, that's pretty important. So Iden math, I'm not going to spell it out for you guys here. Just remember, she gains 20 from Veers, and then at the very start, Wat is going to give her 20% more turn meter. And so, my Iden here, she's 323 base speed. Let me see, what does that effective speed mean for us? Okay, so I actually, you follow along on the calculator here if you want. So she is 323 speed. She's going to be 20 speed more for Veers. And then she's going to gain 20% turn meter from Watt. So you divide this by 0.8 because it's going to be 100% minus 20%, which is, 80%, whatever. And so she is an effective 428 speed, all right? So keep that in mind. Here, we'll shrink that. You guys can see my face again. Lucky you. And then if you look at, okay, so the one that's really so Canderous just breaks it, but Inquisition don't necessarily, but remember, they're gaining speed up from Lord Vader because they're a dark side unaligned force user. And so they're gaining 40% speed from Lord Vader and then another 25% speed, which means, so this is an example. You guys can follow along with that example. Let's actually get another calculator shot here though. So this is 428. So if Second Sister is, in fact, just 350 speed, which 350 speed is tough to do, but if she does manage it, she's actually significantly still faster than Iden, and that doesn't work. She'll just take she'll just use a special, and then Maul will go and rip your face off. Remember, though, I guess the one thing I will point out, folks, is this is all predicated on if Maul is there, then he's going to destroy you. If it's like, well, they have a really fast Second Sister, but there's no Maul there for some reason, then it's game on. Like depending on what that ability does, Maul is the one you're going to be afraid of for the most part. Like, you can probably stand having Second Sister go if Maul isn't there to trigger his frenzy and be able to rip your team to shreds. So let's actually go into some examples, folks. Let's get to it. So you can see the team here. We have Watt, we have a Datacron. Datacron, I think, has just some armor penetration or something like that. And okay, this one has 2 tanks. They're not too thick though, and they have a Darth Vader and Maul, which is nice. Maul is going to be stealthed, and so you kind of gotta be cautious here. Dude, you gonna ever go, Zareth? Come on, dude. We don't have all day. You're just gonna tease it? Come on, just hit the battle button. Okay, hold on. Alright, here we are. So, alright, so there's 2 pre-taunts, and you need to kill Royal Guard first. Every time, if there's 2 taunts, you need to kill Royal Guard, because he heals his entire team passively, and it's pretty nasty. I mean, this is a really low relic Royal Guard, guys. I would always advise at least relic 7, if not 8, for Lord Vader. If you're gonna get Lord Vader, and you want him to do well in GAC or Territory Wars, need that Royal Guard to, he's the first line of defense. Really important stuff. So, you're just going to do a basic with Watt, folks. Do you see those, so if you rewind back, watch one of the, I have 2 other examples. So we gained 20% turn meter. Now, Lord Vader is going. Everyone passively gains those damage over time. He does his AoE, and makes it so that Maul goes. Now, no one else is faster than us, and so the next up is Iden. She's going to dispel everyone and give a little bit more turn meter, and then it's going to be game on. So remember, she has to be the fastest trooper. She doesn't have to be faster than Watt, because Watt just takes that bonus turn. So now we're going to put Inevitable Failure on Dark Trooper here, and Dark Trooper is going to give everyone more turn meter here. And then you do the AoE and just try to punch Royal Guard in the face 8 times in a row if you can. There you go. Alright, so little Maul counters. Now note the stacks here, guys, on the 9, the Emperor's Trap or Emperor's Plan, whatever it is. It's giving you more and more offense. If you can take consistent, continuous turns, then you're going to be in a good place. You remember, you also gained 60% turn meter or more killing that Royal Guard. Now we gotta shoot that short trooper. I guess we can dispel what he's doing. Maul responds to the AoE. Alright, let's punch the short trooper in the head. Wonderful. Now, we're going to... we need to hit Lord Vader as much as we can, because he's going to be thick. This is only Relic 7 on Lord Vader. I'll show you a tougher Lord Vader in a minute. But, so punch Lord Vader in the face as much as you can. My rule of thumb is to wait until Piet takes a turn, and then switch to another character. So, to take out with Piet, he'll call an assist, and once you take that character out... then the rest of the team was going to gain turn meter, and it's going to stave off Lord Vader taking turns. So, punch Lord Vader. Oh yeah, he's not doing too great. Not doing too great already. I mean, we already have 15 stacks here, so okay. Let's take a quick little like destruction break, a slaughter break is what I was gonna say. And alright, we really need to take out this Lord Vader here. Okay, we gain turn meter, and now we can just punch Maul straight in the face. And we get a 73, because Watt dropped us a couple banners, I think. I don't remember who all else does. Okay, let's go to the next example here, guys. And it's the same exact thing, except I think it's a tougher Lord Vader. We'll see. The thing you have to be really cautious about here in this one is there are 2 characters in stealth here, and so you can't ride the turn meter train as much. You got to be cautious. So we are faster than them. They had an 8th brother or 2nd sister, whatever it is, but they weren't fast enough. They weren't fast enough to match us. So okay, do the basic on Watt, and then do the. And then Lord Vader goes, Maul goes, we're all debuffed to hell. Everything's about to just really go poorly. And then Iden goes next. She cleanses. Put inevitable failure onto Dark Trooper, so that he always assists when Piet goes. So remember, when you call the assist with Veers, Dark Trooper might hit up to 3 different times, because Piet might call Dark Trooper once or twice, depending on what his basic does. Alright, so we're done with the tanks. Again, we need to... So this is why this is important. This is a Datacron that has protection up if he causes damage over times, which is, like, he's just too thick to get through at this point. He's Relic 9, really tough, but... Iden has another tool in her repertoire that really helps, guys, and that is her Dispel move. So she does her AoE, and she can dispel all of those stacks on Lord Vader. And you're able to just take those out, and now you can just interact with him as usual. So let's punch Lord Vader as hard in the face as we can. Relic 9 on Lord Vader again, guys, so pretty tough guy. We're waiting until Piet gets a turn. He's going to call everyone to assist, take out Thrawn. You can see our turn meter popped back up to full, and now it's actually a pretty close run thing. Now, one thing I want to point out, guys, is, see, we're about to run out of turn meter entirely, because even though everyone is gaining passive stacks of the Emperor's plan, we're not actually able to like gain enough, because Watt isn't contributing to it, and Iden frankly isn't like the very best option for this team anyways, unless you're kind of just pigeonholed into one specific squad. And so at some point Watt takes a turn and gets rid of all of the Emperor's plan because he's not Empire. Alright, so let's punch Lord Vader. He's close. We're close, guys, but oh well, I guess they interrupt our efforts here. But okay, so Watt's gonna go, and what we really want, Lord Vader hasn't gone yet, but that probably means this Lord Vader is slower than a lot of them or something. He's not able to lap us. But what we want here, guys, you might be tempted to put some weapons tech on. Don't do that though. Just do another basic and get 20% more turn meter, because otherwise Lord Vader is gonna outrace you. So just do a basic here with Watt. See, I'm thinking about it. Okay, so you have to cleanse him. Everyone gains enough turn meter, and now let's go. Okay, punch him in the face. There you go. There we go. Okay, and now, because these two are both in stealth, we can just take him out. Alright, let's take out Maul first, if we can. I mean, he's pretty squishy at this point. Take him out, and then... so this actually gains back some protection as well. So they did some damage to us. May as well heal our squad just a little bit, then punch Second Sister's face. Now I'm going to show you guys a failure video here, so that you have some context. Same exact thing, except I did not take into account that there were going to be 2 people in stealth, which is the issue. Like, this is a very winnable fight, but we're doing something pretty stupid here, pretty dumb, and I don't want you guys to fall into it. So give the turn meter from Watt, cleanse with Iden, cool. Inevitable failure here. Call the mass assist. Okay, kill Royal Guard. Okay, so everything's gone to plan here, folks. Everything's going to plan. However, the thing you need to keep in mind is, well, looks like their Vader also has those stacks of protection up, which I didn't even notice at the time. They're kind of blending into Maul stacks, to be fair, but I didn't notice that. The other thing is, guys, you don't want to kill Thrawn until you've already had a couple good hits on Lord Vader. But instead I killed Thrawn. I was like, alright, cool, we're good to go. And then I started punching him. Oh my gosh, look at that. He's got all these stacks. Okay, we'll dispel this. The stacks thing wasn't like really the mistake I was thinking of, but here's the thing is, you run out of momentum on this team real quick. You only have 3 or 4 people who contribute to giving this turn meter to you, and you're not getting a lot of passive calls to assist the way you do if you have like range trooper on the team. And so, alright, call the assist, punch Lord Vader. We're pretty close here, guys. We're pretty close, but now he gained all those extra bonus protection, and yeah, we're just gone, despite the fact that we're pretty close. Okay, so what do I do? Oh, look at that, compounding my issues here. Okay, let's kill Maul here. Okay, but no one else is gaining turn meter other than Dark Trooper, and Dark Trooper and Lord Vader has all these stacks of protection up. Okay, let's try to kill 8th brother. And, I mean, so we're killing the ads at least, but there's just no way. There's just no way. Unless, I mean, Iden's already kicked off. She's gone. We can't get rid of these stacks. You know, I was able to finish this Lord Vader off with, like, I don't know, bounty hunters or Mon Mothma, something like that. But at the end of the day, like, you don't want that sloppy. Like, we could have gotten a high banner win if I had just recognized that we should kill Lord Vader, or hit Lord Vader first, and then take a quick detour on Thrawn, get more turn meter, and take Lord Vader out. Anyways, this is it, guys. I hope this helps you. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zereth prevails.